As I told you per our LinkedIn conversation that I'm starting my YouTube channel and I want to do interviews with founders on machine learning. So it would be a machine learning talk per different industries. So could you tell me and my subscribers a little on your background and how did you come with an idea of Aten Ventures and a little about your products at Aten Ventures?
Sure. So a little bit about myself is, around 3 years back, after having worked at a few startups in San Francisco, New York area, I basically decided to start Aten Ventures to pursue my own sort of product building. And I always saw remote entrepreneurship as a new paradigm shift because one thing is you could work from home and you don't need a lot of resources to become a remote entrepreneur. All you need is an internet connection, and you can learn the rest from the internet itself and then apply it to the internet itself. So I thought that was a huge paradigm shift for people living in developing countries, especially. And then sort of along the way, I've actually moved back to India now from the US, and we're working with companies everywhere. Actually, in fact, one of the companies we're working with is in California, while one of them is in Singapore. We have a few companies in India that we work with, or that we're sort of building ourselves. So there's a lot of activity that happens, right from the comfort of my home and this room that you see right here. A lot happens here. A lot, like each day is a new day, and at the core, you mentioned AI, and I think we are looking to build AI first companies. And when I say AI, it's not just about the cool stuff. It's also about the data that is actually very boring in itself, but that can give you a lot of insights and help build a very mature enterprise that understands how to move very predictively. So you can think 5 steps ahead because of all the data you have, as well as the analytics you run on the data. So those are the kinds of companies we want to make that make, data-driven decisions at sort of each point in their journey as they become bigger and bigger. So that's sort of my thinking with company building at the moment. We do have some exciting applications of AI that we're looking at and that we're helping a few companies with. For instance, it's we're helping a company grade fish. On the seaports, you just put your phone camera to the fish and it grades the fish based on the quality. It checks for the scales on the fish, and then it checks for the coloring of the fish, and then it gives you a score. How much should you buy this fish for? That's a simple use case, but again, a lot of people on seaports have this problem. There's a ton of fish being bought at seaports, so that's a huge problem there. And then same with crops. You can look at a crop and you can say, the worth of the crop. So some interesting and very scalable use cases like that can be accessed from a cell phone, because I think cell phone is very widely used, and you don't need a special device. So yeah, those are just some of the things. Of course, there's a long list, but I don't want to bore you with all the AI applications. But that's a gist of our company and some of the things we're working on.
I surfed a little at your website, Aten Ventures, and saw there are 3 different products. It's like the first one is After Contento, the second one is Bitbuzzer.io, and AI for VC. You were talking about AI for VC, right? So it's like different data science and AI machine learning projects in Singapore. And could you tell a little more about these 2, Bitbuzzer and After Contento?
It's a marketplace. So you might want to think about it like Upwork.com, but for deep tech. That's honestly what Bitbuzzer is. And Auto Contento is just a simple Chrome extension that you can use. It's like Canva with a scheduler. So you can use it to sort of like build content, and then you can schedule it on the calendar. So it's a very simple, it's not even a full-fledged product, but it's a small tool. But we want to sort of get a lot of users for that. It's dropping in the next month. Hopefully, if things are on time, it should be in a month. Yeah. But Bitbuzzer is almost live, and we've been adding more vendors and working with pilot customers. So it's a simple way for us to go to any enterprise, show them a good portfolio of companies, saying that, hey, these are 20 or 30 companies in AI that have all these awesome things that can help your enterprise, and these would match you the most or whatever. And then we do that matchmaking. That is what Bitbuzzer is. It's a business to business marketplace.
And how did you come up with all these different ideas in B2B, B2C, and end-to-end ideas for your venture clients?
Sure. I think with ideas there are many, many, many good ideas. Like, you can have many ideas, but you have to only go after those ideas that somebody will pay you money to pursue. And there should be 10 people who should be ready to pay you for anything that you build. That is my philosophy. Of course, there'll be an idea for which one person would be ready to pay you, but then that's not a scalable idea. You need 10 such people coming to you telling you, okay, this would work. And I think the way to come up with that idea in the first place is to listen a lot. More than speaking, I think it's about listening. I think you doing these podcasts is a great way to come up with ideas, because you'll be talking with a lot of people and you'll collect different data points. Then when you join those dots, you get a new idea for the future. So I think a lot of conversations, talking to people, and just listening and thinking behind their words. So if somebody says something, you should think about why they think this way, or what is influencing their thoughts that they're saying this. And I think that's what gives a lot of good ideas.
So you're going where is the money is, right? And my next question would be,
I'm not saying where is the money. I think I wouldn't want you to mistake me and tell me and think that it's about the money. It's actually not about the money. The reason I'm saying that 10 people should be willing to pay you for the idea is that means a lot of people have that pain. So usually it's about the pain, right? So if 10 people have some pain, they'll want to pay money to get rid of the pain.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to sort of qualify with that. It's not a quest for more money. It's a quest for me to validate the idea by having 10 people tell me that they have enough pain that they would pay me to get rid of it. That's the way I think about it.
I see. So the next question would be about technology. What technology do you use in your startups? What machine learning techniques? What compute engine do you use? Are you using AWS instead of Google Cloud Platform, or you are using something by your own developed? Can you tell me about this?
Sure. So it actually depends. For some projects, we use AWS. For some projects, we use GCP. And in terms of machine learning algorithms behind the scenes, I mean, we probably use k-means clustering sometimes for geographic, wherever we are trying to do any geographic clustering, or probably even for some levels of recommendations. We use some amount of reinforcement learning. So for instance, the machine gives you a recommendation, then is it going to bring you more profits or something like that? So you can do some reinforcement learning to train the machine to give you those recommendations that would increase the profits and help the customer the most. Besides that, usual, we use TensorFlow for, computer vision applications. Probably we might place the computation in AWS Lambda so that we're charging per event and not, it's not always charging you. So, we try to move things onto AWS Lambda, or sometimes you can even keep the computations offline on the device. But the architecture is obviously, as you know, every project and every team is different. So if we have a team where they prefer, let's say, GCP, then we'll use GCP. But if they want AWS, and that if they want Azure, then we use Azure. So it depends on the team. It depends on the product. It depends on the customer also. If you go to an enterprise customer, they might have certain requirements that you have to check off. So again, it's what the customer and what the team wants.
Am I right that your most power is in connecting customers and different machine learning teams?
Yeah, to a certain degree, I would say that's what we've been the best at. We obviously understand the tech, so we're able to give the business a good sort of like an overview about what they can achieve, and we have a good relationship with the vendors, so we're able to make that connection.
What are the company plans for the future?
That's a tough question. I think the main thing is we want to keep our organization adaptable. So we want to see what's going to work, what's not going to work, because I don't know the future. So we'll try to make a very adaptable team, so that if the situation changes, 1 year, some of the products get traction, then we focus on the products. But if the products are not getting enough traction, then we'll try to reinvent, and then we'll try to rework and just figure something else out. I think the most important strategy at this point is to keep things adaptable, I think.
It's all about scalability, right?
Yeah, scalability and adaptability. I think with changing situations, changing what you're doing is very important. And I think a lot of times the big companies, biggest companies, they're not able to change, and that's why they start to fail. And I think with remote, like with our remote team, and the way we've trained our team, I think we can do that. We can be very we can change with time.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Hope you'll get all the chances to make future better with machine learning and AI.